Jim Bolger makes an appearance on the news. There's a document being put forward to Parliament by the Wellbeing Economy Alliance, asking for or giving reasons as to why perhaps we should be looking at or shifting to long-term thinking. Something that we talk about a lot in our little circles is trying to push government to work across the aisle, look at 10-year plans. They're not fucking over education every 10 years or health every 10 years and ferries, which they decide to cancel for God knows what bloody reason other than money, and then just stupid. So there's a story, Stuff did a story on it, and I won't play the wee bit, apologies, from the representative from the Wellbeing Economy. I love that, the Wellbeing Economy Alliance, because I think it's kind of talking to the choir a little bit. Appreciative to the choir, should I say. But I will play these comments from Jim Bolger, because I think it's just nice to hear an old person say something that's like, yeah, duh. An old person gets it. To be fair, former Prime Minister and obviously someone who was in politics, so kind of makes sense. But there's another thing as well in the second clip. He calls out basically this weird shift that we've had in our politics of this sort of anti-Māori and this like fear of Māori that's sweeping through. So yeah, let's listen to the old man. Old man shouts at clouds, but in a cool way.
It might sound aspirational, but former Prime Minister Jim Bolger says it would streamline political decision-making.
A classic case of recent date is that we need new ferries to go across the Cook Strait. And one party puts up its policies for that, and the next one comes in and throws them out immediately without having alternative policies. Then they try and develop alternative policies. I mean, we have to be prepared to listen to sensible ideas, good ideas, wherever they come from.
But not everyone.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, such wise words.
Does he watch the show? It sounds like he's been listening to the boys.
It seems, when you put it like that, it's so, yeah. I don't know. I don't know why we can't all come together and find some middle ground about,
Yeah, I mean, some people are also just clearly being stubborn and not, like, people can't admit that they might be wrong. And I think that's a big part of the problem. Like, it takes a lot for a person to actually go, hey, maybe everything I didn't do wasn't the greatest, and I can take ownership and responsibility for that and not let it make me fucking turn into a crumpled, crying mess.
Yeah. I think this is also why it's kind of like, wow. I'll just come to Jesus Moses was being rolled by Shipley, and then someone said, I can't believe I just said yay Jim Bolger. It's a good day, I guess. But that's it, like, right? Someone that I know a lot of people are not, don't love the guy, but like he's making sense. He's an old man making sense, right?
Yep. The lead obviously didn't get to that part of his brain.
Yeah, so let's have a look at this other wee bit here too as well, because talking about the sudden shift that he's seeing, and we're all seeing, and the fear, the boogie word, the boogeyman, Māori, the scary word, the forbidden taboo word, Māori.
Likes change.
So we've got to move that attitude forward. We've got to, but always include an open embrace to people of different races, cultures, creeds, beliefs, and so forth, and to embrace the totality of our society. All of people who somehow or other seem to be fearful of the word Māori. I mean, we're now moving away from including a few Māori words because somehow or other people are frightened of it. I mean, I think we're more ridiculous. The original language of the country But there you go. That's people. They hide.
He says older
I think what's really interesting for me is a lot of times when we've pointed out Winston and how he sounds like an old man and he sounds like he's rambling. He's got that old man kind of ramble and incoherence. I kind of hear that from Jim, but like maybe a little less incoherent, like very obviously he's of state mind. But it's that same kind of old man kind of train of thought and that raspy voice and things. It's just nice to hear that in someone going, this is ridiculous.
And not saying, cook shit.
Why are people like so anti-Māori? Like they seem like it's this big bad word, like taking Māori language, and he clearly points out, this is our indigenous language, this is our indigenous people. This is we live on Māori land. This is Aotearoa. And he says it, and it's just nice to hear it from someone who's old going, okay, not all old people are cooked.
Although I was kind of confused why he sounded surprised by that. I'm like, you grew up through all the heavy racism. You got to know where it kind of comes from, though. Like,
yeah, I think he definitely. You're right. He would know where it comes from, and he probably has lived through it. But he's also lived through the change. Like the last 2 decades,
some people adapt to that.
Yeah, like the last 2 decades, we really have seen a shifting, and like generally speaking, things were kind of progressing, and it was kind of widely accepted. Te Reo was widely accepted, having agencies with Te Reo names, and then predominantly Te Reo, Te Whatu Ora instead of Health NZ, Waka Kotahi instead of Transport NZ, and we were moving in such a good direction, and now it doesn't take long. Like it's only been 6 months or a year or so. And we've already seen this, like, for me, even myself, like, I'm getting so used to seeing Health NZ that now it's Health NZ instead of Te Whatu Ora. And, like, that really, like, you really do see how the language very quickly kind of gets, like overshadowed and it disappears. It was really sad.
Holy shit. He's 90. Fuck. Sounds actually weirdly coherent for a 90-year-old, actually, when you say it like that.
Than bloody Winnie.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. There's just the last little bit that I wanted to share. It's a nice little positive thing. And I hope that this document that they put forward and this discussion that they're opening up into the wider sphere actually sees some traction, because we've been saying it for a while. Long-term thinking, forward planning, bipartisanship, finding middle grounds, and perhaps moving forward instead of this fucking flip-floppy thing, which is why we're looking at bloody 4-year terms instead of 3-year terms, which I'm against a 4-year term, personally. But it's purely because we can't fucking seem to make up our minds about where our middle ground is and finding some way of actually locking in, positive change, or at least like generally positive change moving even if it's incremental, like at least moving kind of forward instead of the fucking flip-floppy thing that we're seeing. So.
I mean, I think it's kind of hard to, though, when we've kind of seen the Overton window be pushed to the right, is that it makes things that are more centered seem super far left. Like, the amount of people in this chat or on this show that would be considered, like, relatively far left leaning people, maybe even extreme far left, when really, honestly, it shouldn't be that far left. Like, oh no, I want people to be able to live their lives and not be unfairly fucking had at, like, have challenges that are unnecessary. Like, fuck me, I guess.
No, I'm sorry, I want you to have free healthcare. Ooh.
Right? I don't want you to be depressed and have community.
I want you to have a home to live in that's warm and dry. Ooh, and not pay fucking 60% of your income on rent. Ooh.
Right? Crazy shit.
An extreme view, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm so extreme.
Wild.